Today, let's talk about the team known as the People's Club in Liverpool. This is Everton FC. They're one of England's oldest football clubs, founded back in 1878. And as you can see from their home kit here from 2018, they play in a royal blue kit. I really do like this kit. I think Umbro did a good job on it for them. It's got silky smooth fabric. On top of that, white trim around the neck there for their secondary color. And I'm pretty sure that was the season that they first had sleeve sponsors in the Premier League. They're iconically known as the Toffees. That's their most common nickname, and it comes from one or the other of two toffee and sweet shops in the Everton area. For two reasons, it's probably the one called Mother Noblet's. One, because it was right across the street from the Everton lockup, this little guy right here in the center of their crest, which is an iconic emblem of the Everton area of Liverpool. And second, because the shop routinely sold the Everton Mint, which is pretty much a peppermint humbug with a toffee center. And that toffee-centered treat is one that traditionally is actually hawked into the crowd pre-match as a lady walks around the pitch. Point of pride for Evertonians is they hold the all-time record for most seasons played in the top flight in England, 119 years, meaning they've only missed the top flight 4 seasons. They also have the second longest stretch of consecutive seasons in the top flight in England, but that's currently threatened by the fact that they are sitting in the relegation zone alongside West Ham United and Southampton. Having been in the top flight for so long, that also means that they're one of England's most successful clubs, having won the league 9 different times, as well as 5 FA Cups, and they've even had success in Europe, winning 1 title, the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1985. All of that success has kind of dried up in the Premier League era, seeing as their last trophy was the 1995 FA Cup. The 1980s were their most successful period, winning the league, as well as the FA Cup, and that European Cup success, led by Graham Sharp, one of the finest Scottish forwards to ever play in the English game. As you can probably guess, their biggest rival is their crosstown neighbor, Liverpool FC, who are even closer than just crosstown, seeing as their 2 stadiums are just 1 mile apart across Stanley Park. The two compete what's called the Merseyside Derby, and it's kind of an oddity for an English rivalry match, seeing as it's been traditionally pretty friendly between the two sets of supporters. But all of that has changed since the Premier League era started, seeing as this matchup, the heat turned up on it, and it has produced more red cards than any other matchup between any other clubs. We talked about Graham Sharp a little bit earlier, but to touch on 2 other former players for Everton, let's start with Duncan Ferguson, a man notoriously known as Duncan Disorderly due to the fact of his vicious play and the fact that he got red carded 9 times during Premier League play, and on top of that, actually also had a prison sentence due to an on-field incident. And the other of note, especially at the moment, is current Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta played for the club as his first stint in English football before retiring as a player at Arsenal. The current squad has a lot of talent in it, but as I mentioned earlier, they are struggling this season. Most emblematic of those problems this year is their star forward Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is a good, fine, instinctual finisher of the ball and very strong, but has struggled with consistency and injuries this season, limiting him to just 1 goal so far. And second, they do love their native son, Anthony Gordon, who as a winger and a midfielder has been with the club since his youth, starting there in 2012 in their academy. On the flip side of those performances, their best player this season has been Alex Iwobi from the center of midfield. He has 5 assists to his name already and is a strong component to build around for the club. So that's your rundown on Everton Football Club from the northwest of England in Liverpool. They face a tough uphill battle in the relegation fight in the second half of this season to see if they can maintain their status in the Premier League.